as today it is the regular season finale between the Fighting Tigers of LSU and the Bulldogs from Mississippi State University. Carson free throw line dribbles into the lane, scoops it up and in. Good drive by Carson to the bucket. LSU lead.
She'll try it from the outside and bring it.
Makes a move, turns, ducks under, left-handed shot is good. It counts on a foul as she put it hit off the window. Johnson's got it, drives left baseline, layup is good. And it counts, a foul. Poole on the baseline. We'll get it into Morris, 18-footer right side, count it. Morris in a hurry to the bucket, layup is good. Morris, coast to coast. Going to get it to Ward. She dribbles, she stops, 14-footer block. Reese putback is good with one to shoot. And the LSU Tigers have completed what is going to be a tie for the best regular season in the history of this program. And they beat Mississippi State 74-59.
I'm going to play for you one day.
Hello and welcome to Tigers Roar. I am Jonathan Poche, joined by the Bud Man, Buddy Songy, here at Old School Barbecue. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, a great place to get something to eat. Old school prices, great food, everything's homemade. Come check it out, Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Jumping right into it, we didn't do a show last week because it was Mardi Gras. I hope you had a safe and happy holiday, and I hope all the kiddos had a bunch of fun catching all that stuff. You know you're not going to keep. But still, the parades were nice for my family, and we're back on Tigers Roar. Happy to have you with us, and time to talk some LSU sports, starting with LSU women's basketball. Welcome in the Bud Man. How are you, Bud Man?
Good to see you, JP. Can you believe it, folks? We have gone through another month today. The final date of February, March 1 starts, and oh, by the way, a lot to get to. We saw the highlight, record crowd, 15,721. To see the Lady Tigers finish 27-1. Awards came out today, and most people know that, as expected, Aaliyah Boston, Player of the Year, Dawn Staley, Coach of the Year. But what a great year for Alexis Morris, a.k.a. Lex Luthor. Angel Reese, she's just been phenomenal, 27 double-doubles. And obviously, Flau'jae Johnson, Freshman of the Year in the SEC, and Samaya Smith also making the freshman team. They have a double bye with the ladies tournament, so they will play on Friday night at 6 o'clock against the winner of 7 and 10, Auburn and Georgia. So that on the plate. Men wrap up their home schedule tomorrow night, Wednesday night at 8 o'clock against Missouri. LSU baseball tonight took their first loss, but came back and clobbered Sam Houston State 16-4 on the Sunday finale. They are over at Texas, UT. And what do University of Texas and LSU baseball have in common, JP?
What do they have in common? Well, two premier teams in the NCAA, one with storied past. If you're going for personnel, six championships?
6 natties. Both Texas,
I didn't know Texas had 6 natties.
LSU, 6 natties. And USC, of course, doubled them up in the Rod Dedeaux era, and they have 12. But, look, this is not a natty, but we were talking about it, JP. Maybe you're smarter than me. Fish, one of our loyal callers, says, when's the last time the University of Texas has descended and come down to LSU in the campus of Baton Rouge and played an athletic event? Of course, 2020, the COVID year, they were supposed to return the football game in 2020. Yep. They're coming into the conference in 2024. So UT and LSU will become more familiar with each other in the coming years. But we can't remember the last time UT brought a sports team over here. We just can't remember. No. And, of course, tonight back at Austin, a lot of Tiger fans will be in there. Thatcher Hurd getting the start for the Tigers tonight. Yeah,
Coach Jay Johnson still trying to figure out that lineup. It's a good problem to have. You have so many talented players that want to get playing time, want to get at-bats, and how do you rotate the lineups? Had a discussion with a couple of my friends this past weekend over at Crawfish Bowl. Like, what is your ideal lineup for the Tigers? They threw out a bunch of different things, and pretty much everybody just said, keep Dylan Cruz third, and everybody else is pretty much interchangeable.
Dylan Cruz is on fire. He's only got 1 home run, but he's hitting over 600 or right around 600 right now. Obviously, with Tommy Tanks White jamming the shoulder. He has been the DH. That has made Ben Napolt play third base at the hot corner. Trey Morgan, boy, I had some spicy comments.
Yeah.
Trey Morgan, they put him out in left field, and Murphy's Law, you know something crazy is going to happen. He ran into the wall, got banged up. We'll see if he's out in left field again tonight. But this kid that we all love, number 22, you got to love some Jared the Bear Jones. He is a man-child and is crushing the baseball. Look, it's early. It's a marathon, not a sprint. But as we know, there is a lot of talent. Now, can you keep everybody happy, and can you get those roles established before the start of SEC play?
And, of course, it is NFL Combine Week. It's going on right now in Indianapolis. They had early registration the past couple of days as we tape here on Tuesday the 28th. It's going to continue on until March 6th. So a little bit later on in the week, you'll see some drills and the workouts. And I just want to ask you about, man, what event is your favorite at the Combine, and which one do you kind of find overrated?
Well, it's always interesting to see because when LSU has their pro day, they always have guys that run a little quicker at LSU than they do in the Combine. The Combine, if you run 4.4 at the Combine, you got a chance to run 4.35. But obviously, you look at the 40, and then how many times, even though bench press is not something you utilize in football a lot, except when you're on the bottom of the pile trying to push people off of you and you're scrambling for a fumble. But how many times can you lift at 2 1/4? Those are the kind of things. The shuttle, all the other things. Bryce Young, by the way, is expected to be the #1 quarterback picked. He's not even going to throw at the Combine. He'll throw at Alabama's pro day. And as always, JP's got some updates on a couple coaches that have come on to the LSU campus, and John Jancic and of course, another guy who's going to come in and help with special teams. Yeah,
well, John Jancic, obviously, he has SEC experience. He was defensive coordinator, at Tennessee. They're also getting a guy who was a head coach at UConn, or was a DC at Duke. They're going to kind of piecemeal that special teams coordinator position. John Jancic, look, a lot of people have good things to say about him. His resume is pretty good. He was an analyst for the Tigers last year. There has to be improvement at the special teams unit, but, man, they had so many mistakes. It was like every game you expected just a blunder to happen with that special teams unit. Case in point, SEC championship with the block field goal against the Georgia Bulldogs. Not that LSU was going to win that game, but that certainly put them on a path to failure. LSU, filling out those gaps. We knew that Coach Polian was going to still be on a staff because, his coach Brian Kelly's like right-hand man when it comes to recruiting. But, look, it's okay to admit when something doesn't work out, and it did not work out for Coach Polian with the special teams last year.
Jancic also going to coach the jack linebackers, the outside linebackers, and we love it when LSU puts pressure with that front four. Hey, we love the cornerback blitz. We love the safety blitz. We love the linebackers coming in. Micah Baskerville loved coming in up the middle. Harold Perkins, do you have him inside playing the spy? How often do you put him on the edge? We saw what he could do against Arkansas. He's almost unblockable. And you got guys that have got to replace Ali Gay and B.J. Ojolari on the edge, Jaquelin Roy inside. So a lot of new names. Once again, spring football starts a week from this Thursday. Aaron Anderson cleaning up a little bit of a scoped knee, so he won't be out there. So you'll have some other guys return. That, to me, I want to see LSU have a great punt returner. JP, the last couple of years, I mentioned this not to denigrate Derek Stingley Jr., but it's incredible. I thought that guy was going to be all that in a bag of chips as a return guy. Never took one to the house. Trey Palmer did, but he went to Nebraska his final year. So we'll see. But John Jancic, an excellent coach, will help Matt House on the defensive end. And Bob Diaco is coming in here to help with special teams. And they're going to piecemeal that. And certainly that's an area that they got to work on and get better into 2023.
We have a lot more here on Tigers Roar. We'll let you guys hear from Kim Mulkey in our post-game press conference after senior night when LSU defeated the Mississippi State Bulldogs, and which was a very memorable night in front of a whole lot of fans. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it. You are watching Tigers Roar.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
The biggest sale of the year is happening right now during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda. For a limited time, make no payments for 90 days on every new Honda. That's right, you choose and make no payments for 90 days at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Hey now, give it your best, but the broken lies to rest. Hey. Look up to the skies, I see desire in your eyes, but you can't keep it in your heart. Misery loves company. 'Cause misery loves company. Cold and hungry like a dog in the street. I get a raw deal every one.
And we continue here on Tigers Roar. Jonathan Poche joined by the Budman Buddy Songy here from Old School Barbecue. Remind you guys, go check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. It's a great way to keep up with everything we do here on Tigers Roar. If you missed any of this episode or any episodes in the past, go check out our YouTube page, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. While you're there, click subscribe, hit the like button, help us in the algorithm, and we'll keep bringing you that good content. LSU women's basketball, Budman, SEC record of 15-1. It's only year 2 for Coach Kim Mulkey, but it feels like she's been at LSU for a long time. An institution already in Baton Rouge. She handles the post-game press conferences outstanding. She's a rock star on the court. She's always dressed to the nines. What can't you say about Coach Kim Mulkey?
Unbelievable that they landed Kim Mulkey. Of course, look, 15-7-2-1. And the men have played their last couple games in front of 2,000.
Yeah.
Matt McMahon is having problems living up to the swagger and the recruiting prowess and the reputation and the personality of Will Wade. He's got some guard problems, and they're having trouble. As we know, they did break the streak against Vandy and got them a win. But the Lady Tigers, the one thing that I'm a little worried about, they've been playing a lot of the starters, JP, 37, 38 minutes. I hope that they don't wear down. Probably a point guard and a shooting guard and a big away, but she's recruited well for next year. This thing is going to get better. Angel Reese coming back, Lex Morris, and the other 3 seniors honored with Senior Day. But can you believe 27-1 regular season? That is nothing to not appreciate about. That was fantastic. Now, I know there was some easy cupcake games early, but only one lost to South Carolina, and we'll see if they're going to be a number 1 or number 2 seed in the big dance. Expected to host games 1 and 2 in the NCAA tournament. in Baton Rouge at the PMAC.
Well, look, Coach Kim Mulkey talked about it around win 18-19. You're no longer a secret anymore. People know you're pretty good, and they want to give you your best shot to give you that first loss. And to only lose to South Carolina, who, let's be honest, isn't an atmosphere alone. There is nobody that's playing as well as South Carolina. And Coach Mulkey really did give a nod to Mississippi State. She said that she thought that they were the hottest team in the SEC coming into that game, but let's not kid ourselves. South Carolina and everyone else. You judge teams you play against. It's like, how bad does South Carolina be? If they got within like 10 points of South Carolina, you think this team must be pretty good. So still, like you said, a couple players away from taking home that national championship, I think. If you get to an Elite Eight in this tournament, you're bound to be a high seed. Just stay healthy in this SEC tournament. And like Coach Kim Mulkey said in the press conference, you'll hear in a few minutes, it's really hard for her to get motivated once you know you're going to be in that postseason play, going to the big dance. Like the SEC tournaments, the conference tournaments are really for the Cinderella stories, and really just want to stay healthy. You know, LSU, they are talented, but not very deep.
That's the problem. They just don't have enough depth. And last game out against Mississippi State, 2 stats you didn't like to see. Well, 3 stats. They were 0 for 14 from behind the arc.
Yep.
They got 0 points from their bench, and they only had 8 assists.
Yep.
But when LaDasia Williams is on and making moves down low, Angel Reese, 27 double-doubles, and, of course, Alexis Morris, affectionately known as Lex Luthor. I know Scarborough loves that. How about Scar making all these press conferences and everybody else? It has been more enjoyable to watch, and I guarantee you Kim Mulkey is more riveting and more enjoyable to watch this press conference with her than Matt McMahon. And we'll see what Coach McMahon can do. How many guys will he carry over from this team? How much will he be able to entice with NIL? And how much will he be able to get some studs in here with the transfer portal? Matt McMahon's got a long road ahead.
Yeah.
But, man, when you see 2,000 watching the men and 15,000 plus watching the women, the proof's in the pudding, JP.
Yep, and I'll let you guys hear from head coach Kim Mulkey, also with a couple seniors, Alexis Morris, a 5th-year senior, and LaDasia Williams, a grad student, did outstanding for Coach Kim Mulkey in the later half of this year, her final stretches at LSU Tiger. Here are some Lady Tigers and head coach Kim Mulkey after their post-game press conference against Mississippi State. I'll get it out. Here is Coach Kim Mulkey here on Tigers Roar.
It's been emotional. Seniors touch my heart. The greatest years of their lives are the years in college. They don't change a diaper. They don't pay a bill. They get to play a game, and really with NIL and everything else with scholarship stuff, they really are getting money on top of what a scholarship used to be about. And this one, Alexis Morris, I've known since she was in the 7th grade. So I know her good, I know her bad, I know her ugly, but in return she knows my good, my bad, and my ugly. I've said this, and I'll keep saying it. Alexis Morris can write a book, and it'd probably be a bestseller, because I think you would get the truth from an athlete that would not blame a coach like a lot of athletes do. And to see her come, have fun, play in front of that kind of atmosphere again, have an opportunity to be drafted, it's emotional. But I was emotional for all 4 of them, before the game and after the game, because they will never play another regular season last game in their home arena. They'll play a couple more games in the playoffs. But when they take that uniform off for the last time and they hang it in that locker room, or in that locker, unless you're an athlete, you don't understand that gut-wrenching feeling. Some will go on and play pro ball, but it's just something about college.
Alexis, would you talk about, did you have it in your mind to take over in the 4th quarter, and did the shot being waved off have anything to do with it?
The shot being waved off probably did give me a little more ammunition, but I'm one of the go-to players in clutch moments. I got Coach Moki yelling in my ear, go get the ball, go make a play, get the ball to Angel. A lot of that pressure is on me, but it's not really no pressure. Another reporter asked me before the game, in the fourth quarter, you're usually like the clutch player, and I say, well, it's because I put in a lot of work behind the scenes, so I'm comfortable with making those shots or missing those shots during those heated moments. But it's something I definitely embrace, and fortunately, I just been fortunate to knock them down in this type of atmosphere. Thanks to our fans, because I don't think I could do it without our fans and my coaches and my teammates believing in me.
Kim Alexis had a couple of long twos, and of course one that didn't count long in the third period. But have you seen an 0 for 14 3-point stat line in a while?
Are you watching my eyes? I'm sitting there looking at that right now, and I said, ooh, we won by 15, and we did not hit 1 3. I knew Jasmine didn't hit a 3, but I didn't realize that we shot it 14 times and didn't make 1. I don't know that I've ever been a part of a game where we didn't make at least a 1 3, but I'll take those 27 free throws. I'll take those 48 rebounds. Whatever it takes. They came through and won. 8 turnovers, I see that too, because I've been harping on that. We've just played, in my opinion, the hottest team in the SEC. Those guys take you off the dribble as good as anybody. They played South Carolina to within 8. They have beaten a lot of teams here of late. They're playing good, and they will get in the NCAA tournament. If they don't, it would be awful. And I told Sam that, their coach. They're playing hard for him. He runs good stuff, and I was proud of our effort.
Coach, aside from the poor three-point shooting performance tonight, was this the kind of game you wanted to see going into the postseason, knowing that the SEC tournament is coming up?
I'll say this again. If I was the champions of the SEC, if second place, I struggle the older I get with why do we play conference tournaments? Why do you play them if you're already in pretty good shape for postseason? You play them for the Cinderellas. You play them for those that are on the bubble. So I have to motivate this team to understand, oh yeah, we're competitors. We're going to play for something. Now, I've never won an SEC tournament game as a coach. We got knocked out right out of the gates. And then Kentucky went on and won it last year. So our goal is to win one more in the SEC tournament than we've done since this staff has been here.
LaDeja, you were able to make shots that were really important for the team. How do you feel coming out here for your senior night and helping your team get the win?
Really, I just did things that we worked on in practice. We really emphasized getting into the post, and we knew how they were going to play us. So we knew we had one-on-one opportunities, and I was just able to just knock down shots that I work on in practice.
Big stat. Look at the offensive boards. Big stat, 21-3. That's a big stat, guys.
LaDeja, this is your third game with where you kind of stepped up. Is your end of your senior year approaching, having something to do with that? Do you feel that?
I just think it's just me being aggressive and knowing that I could score the ball also, and just playing my role and doing whatever my team needs me to do.
Coach, after the Florida game we talked and you said defense was obviously a big priority. How do you feel like your team has responded over the past 2 games and going into the tournament?
Better. I said after the Vanderbilt game, I thought the first half was as active as we've been. Tonight, I can't just say we were as active, but a lot of that has to do with Mississippi State. They are hard to defend. And when you get caught in a one-on-one situation trying to defend the dribble, do I help? Do I not help? Do they kick it out for a 3? Here's the thing. They only made 4 threes. And I want to say 2 of their 4 were post players. So I thought we did a good job of taking away the 3 ball. We gave up more layups than I would have liked, but I can't compare what we did at Vandy in the first half and tonight, what I can tell you is they listened to scout report. They're trying to do better in having 5 LSU players be active. We weren't active offensively at the beginning of the game, but that's because Mississippi State confused us on some things. We thought, well, is that a man? Is that a 1-2-2? Is that, and Lex and Poa, those guys have to make decisions with the ball in their hands sometimes. And credit to Mississippi State, they kind of kept us off balance, and we were stagnant a lot.
Alexis, I don't know, I'm kind of wondering what you thought you were going to be in for when you asked Coach Mulkey if you could join the team last year, and now that you're at the end of your second regular season, y'all are 53-7 in these 2 seasons, and obviously headed for, you know, a very high seed in the NCAA tournament and a high seed in the SEC tournament. What has this ride been like for you?
I'm going to start with, I'm just happy I didn't give up on myself. And then secondly, I'm going to follow with, thank you, Coach Mulkey, for giving me the opportunity to see this day, because it's not something it's not a day I thought I would ever see. Transferring from Texas A&M, I said this before. When I left A&M, I didn't have a sense of direction of even playing basketball. I was like, this is it. I don't want to do it no more. So I'm just thankful to see and celebrate these moments with people who've known me since I was a kid. I think that's most important, just being around people who believe in you. Coach Mulkey believed in me since I was in the 7th grade. So thank you, Coach. Thank you, Dee, you know, being like the big dog on the team, you know, just always just being funny and, you know, believing in me as well. They always let me know, like, bro, you the PG, like, take over. You know, we need you to lead. It's been definitely remarkable and memorable, and I'm definitely going to miss these days, and I'm going to miss LSU and the fans, and miss Lori back there. She's quiet, but, you know, she shows me a lot of love, and I'm surrounded by people who genuinely care about me, and it's kind of hard to find in the next chapter I'm about to take. So, you know, I appreciate it.
There are things that you wouldn't know that are important to us as a team that I'm seeing we're getting through. One of the biggest, and you won't write about it, but one of the biggest things that was done in that game tonight, other than rebounds and scoring and winning and all those things, was this kid right here gathering her team at the foul line one time. And I looked at my coaching staff and I went, wow. That's when you know she has a sense of urgency and that it's okay to speak up and that I'm a senior and it's okay for me to gather us together at that foul line and call out the play. Then that means absolutely nothing to you. But as you continue down this road of trying to win the next game, it's a sense of ownership. And Day doesn't even know I saw that, but you did that, didn't you, Day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other day at Vandy, before the game, she did a team check to make sure everybody was locked in. Coach, you wasn't back there, but that's a huge moment for Day because she's mild and she's quiet and laid back. It's like, okay, we better get locked in.
LaDeja, Alexis, as you guys watched that senior montage on the Jumbotron, it must have been hard to contain yourselves. What were some of the things going through you guys' minds as you had to wrap around this fact that it was your last home game?
Well, we still got 2 more home, but
yeah.
It felt great. Like, you know, this is my 3rd school, but I love the atmosphere here and the coaches. Like, they really believe in us, and it's just a bittersweet moment, but I know we still got more games ahead of us, and we know where we're trying to get to.
Yeah, definitely bittersweet. I want my senior night to be in Dallas.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a Texas kid, so my ultimate goal is to get back to home. And not to say LSU isn't my home, but Texas is where I was born and raised. So that's where I would love to celebrate my last game in Texas.
And that was head coach Kim Mulkey and 2 seniors, Alexis Morris and LaDeja Williams, at their season finale, the senior night, their home game finale, their final home game as seniors.
In a big crowd, exciting, obviously, standing room only. They sold extra tickets to break that record. Lady Tigers, look, I don't think they're going to put that much emphasis on the SEC tournament. No. Because she's not as deep as she wants to be with a number of players. But Flaugier, who did win the SEC Freshman of the Year, and Jazz Carson, who can shoot the three ball, made 7 threes a couple weeks ago. If they shoot the outside three ball, they got a chance to make the Final Four. But you know they're going to double Angel Reese, and you know that Lex Luthor, a.k.a. Alexis Morris, has got to handle the rock. When she's making them and she's not turning it over, LSU pretty darn good. How much depth? And JP, we talked about it during the show and off the air. Those ladies are getting a little tired. You'd like to see a little bit more production from the bench down the stretch.
Yeah. We'll take another quick break here on Tigers Roar. We'll talk some more LSU Lady Hoops when we come back. You are watching Tigers Roar.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
The season of inspiration is the perfect time to discover the enhanced Mazda CX-5, named a 2022 IIHS Safety Pick Plus Award winner, its highest safety award honor. Choose from over 45 CX-5s available at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Gallagher. This is Roy Fletcher. We hope you'll join us for Fletch Nation, especially if you like talking politics.
Hey, come and join us. We'll give you the information, and then we'll give you the context. And by the way, we'll give you fun, too.
Lots of fun. We hit the local races, the state. We even look at what's going on all across America. And by the way, this space is available. If you'd like to talk about advertising, send your emails to Roy Fletcher at royfletcher.com and join us every week here on the Pelican for Fletch Nation.
Caught spiders. Premier Pest Services.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
We continue here on Tigers Roar. Jonathan Poche and the Bud Man, Buddy Songy. We come to you from Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Come check it out. Great prices, great food, great atmosphere. Bring the whole family. Catch a game on the TVs. Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. But, man, we're talking some LSU women's sports and, of course, the SEC. Of course, on the screen right there, you also see Old School Barbecue is home of the Fletch Nation, which you can also check on our YouTube page at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Appreciate the graphic, Katie. But I'm going to talk some LSU women's basketball. Now looking ahead to the SEC tournament, going to face the winner of Georgia and Auburn. Look, you go 15-1, 27-1 in your second year as coach Kim Mulkey. You have 2 players that go all SEC. That is a great accolade. I mean, that is a nod of excellence to have 2 players out of 5 that start to go all SEC.
If you saw the game a few Sundays ago, I don't know if it was a month ago or whatever, but Carolina is deep. Yeah. In fact, the 6th Lady of the Year is a 6'7" backup post, Cardosa from South Carolina. They are loaded. They got a great guard and Cook and obviously Aaliyah Boston. But I think right now you want to see where LSU is going to be. Are they going to be a number 1 seed or a number 2 seed? If they're a number 2 seed, it certainly ought to be against the weakest number 1. And as you alluded to earlier, you hope that South Carolina is all the way in the other bracket, right, so that when you would play them, if you advanced all the way to the Final Four in the final game, it would be LSU and South Carolina. Real quick, Beth Tureen and the Lady Tigers, 15-1. They got beat for the first time this last weekend against ULL, but they got a little revenge as they beat them in the rematch in Lafayette. So she is doing great things, got a lot of big-time pitchers. Taylor's Pleasance is just knocking the cover off the ball. I think 7 home runs already. And as we know, when women's sports are doing well and men's sports are doing well, it makes the spring sports a lot more enjoyable to follow. And we always have this conversation once every month or two. Who is going to be the next coach to bring home the Natty? Is it going to be Brian Kelly in year 2 or 3? We'll see. Kim Mulkey, does she win one next year? Jay Johnson, does he win one this year? High expectations for all those programs.
Well, we do have some SEC honors. We have some graphics we're going to show you guys, starting with Angel Reese, who you heard about the 27 double-doubles, tied Sylvia Fowles, but co-player of the week for 7th time this year. That is a conference record. Huge tip of the cap for Angel Reese.
Hey, look, I'm going to show my age here, but what do you call that when you have the long legging on one leg and the regular on the other one? You would think it's got to be an NIL deal. She has certainly established her name, her reputation. I'll never forget the first press conference. Kim Mulkey called her a beast, and she has been even better than advertised. But let's not mince any words here. Alexis Morris has got to be the PG. She's got to be the leader. And if Carson and Flauget can find their offensive game, going to be a fun run. But been a great year. I still think they're a year away. Next year, definitely competing to win it all.
And some more honors, starting with Angel Reese, first team All-SEC and first team All-Defensive Team. You mentioned Flauget Johnson, freshman SEC of the year and the All-SEC freshman team. Alexis Morris, the other first team All-SEC nod. And Samaya Smith, who really played really well against South Carolina, All-SEC freshman team as well. A bright future for Samaya Smith.
Samaya Smith, I think, is going to start. They've got a big coming in at 6'5". You put Samaya Smith with Angel Reese next year, they're going to go 6'3", 6'2", 6'5". And as we know, guards win you ball games in March. You're losing Alexis Morris and Carson, but look, Michaela Williams, the best player in the country from North Louisiana, coming in here. And so it's going to be a loaded LSU basketball team. And you know Kim Mulkey is not going to stop until she has the kind of depth that South Carolina has right now.
And we'll transition to the men's basketball side. Their record sits at 2-14 in the SEC right now. They had lost, I think it was, 13 in a row. Putting on the shades. They did play Vanderbilt Wednesday, February 22nd. So we'll take off. We'll take off the glasses. We'll talk about that one win. We do have a piece that we want to show you guys. So here's a recap of LSU versus Vanderbilt. Only their second win in the SEC play. Here it is.
In against Robbins, lays it up with the left hand. Back to Miller, left corner three. Bullseye! Tigers, Williams, open for three, and he answers. And it's good. Spins left, spins right, knocks it down. Goes up the left hand, basket, good. And he draws the foul on the big guy. Shoot by K.J. Williams. Knocks it down. Flips it to Reed, hangs in the air, got hammered. Still made the shot. Miller
want to show you guys that piece. As LSU won a game. I mean, they won an SEC game. So you get the highlights here on Tigers Roar. A huge game by KJ Williams against Vanderbilt. It ended up with 35 points, 10 rebounds, and a steal. Adam Miller also had 18 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. They finally get off the schneid. Of course, they played another game since then. Took on Ole Miss Saturday. Ole Miss beat them 82-69. KJ Williams, again, had a great game. 29 points, 5 rebounds, 1 steal. Adam Miller had 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. So really consistent from your top 2 guys. KJ Williams has been the best player for LSU all year, but not enough from the other guys. Not enough from the bench. They have had a lot of trouble. You try to eliminate 3-point baskets, so you guard the line, 3-point line really well, and you give up a lot of layups. They just haven't been able to put it together. Really, the whole SEC play.
And in that game against Vandy, you finally could say they played like a team. And for all of you out there, youngsters, oldsters, whatever, the acronym for team, together everyone accomplishes more. That is what a freaking team is supposed to be. And Adam Miller all of a sudden started driving and not jacking up those off-balance 3 balls. Oh, by the way, he shot more threes than anybody in the conference, and he's making about 30.7%. KJ Williams has got the best percentage from 3 ball. 41% or thereabouts. So, but when they play as a team and they work together, it's hard. You've got bad guard play. Juice Hill, Justice Williams, obviously the kid from South Carolina who wears 0, and you get on and on and on. Miller, Hannibal, Trey Hannibal, all those guys. We know guards win you basketball games in March, but hoping that they can, at least Scarborough and others were wrong. He said they wouldn't win another game. I don't know if they'll win another game. At Missouri tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Yeah. I'm sorry, hosting Missouri tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. At Florida, 5 o'clock on Saturday. We'll play the first day of the SEC tournament.
But man, I don't expect this team to do much in the SEC tournament. I mean, we'll move on. We'll take another quick break. We have one more segment here on Tigers Roar. Come back and join us. We'll wrap it up. We'll talk some NFL Combine, some LSU baseball. You don't go anywhere. You are watching Tigers Roar.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi gang, Clarence Buggs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Buggs Show.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
You could be
Now's the time to save on new Accords during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana. Get our lowest prices and biggest savings on our largest selection of Accords this year. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana, I-49 just south of Opelousas.
And we continue here on Tigers Roar. Time to talk some LSU baseball. Currently sitting at 6-1 after they finished up the Round Rock Classic. Dylan Cruz received the MVP of the tournament. LSU goes 2-1 in the tournament. Dropped their first game of the year against Iowa, who looked very good at the plate. Now, take nothing away from Iowa, but Coach Jay Johnson still trying to figure out not only the rotation, but the batting order, the positions. A lot of moving pieces for LSU Tigers right now. Completely loaded, though. I mean, it's such a talented team. 1 through 9 is a threat to hit it out. No problem. You talk about Dylan Cruz. Trey Morgan has already hit for the cycle in order a week ago against Southern. Dylan Cruz goes 5 for 6 in his last game at the Round Rock. And LSU beats Sam Houston handedly. And look, Jay Johnson, it's a good problem to have, but they got to kind of figure out who is going to be the guys they go with each weekend.
Riley Cooper has been phenomenal in the fall camp of the scrimmages. He got his first loss, and we'll see what role he has established. Thatcher Hurd is that excellent transfer from UCLA. He got hurt over there. We'll see if he can make his way back. Ty Floyd has been good. Chase Shores, 6'8", about 250, throwing at 97, 98, 99. Paul Skeens throws 99 in the first inning. In inning 6, he's still averaging 97, 98. But as JP so eloquently said, this is a feeling out process. A lot of depth, but the injury bug is something that you still have to get over, and peaking at the right time. Yep. Tennessee went 25-5 in the conference last year. Yep. All my Tennessee fans were saying, this is the greatest Tennessee team ever. This is the best college baseball team ever. I said, hello? Let's wait until you do something in Omaha. Yeah. And, of course, they wouldn't answer my text messages after Notre Dame went in there and beat their butts last year in the Super Regional in Knoxville. So peaking at the right time, staying healthy, and keeping everybody happy. It's not as easy as it seems, JP.
You talk about Paul Skeens, guys 2-0 already in the season. 11 strikeouts in his first appearance, 12 in his second. 23 strikeouts and 2 appearances with 2 wins. Doesn't get much better than that. Started with 30 pitches in the first inning of that Round Rock Classic. Came back to go 5 scoreless. LSU got 7 runs on 10 hits. Look, this team needs to figure out where they're going to sit in order. That you're comfortable in a spot. Dylan Cruz is going to be Dylan Cruz. I mean, that guy is going to be the straw that stirs the drink all season, not only in center field, but right there in the middle of that lineup, batting 3-hole. But got to figure out the pieces in front of him.
People want to already do it, and I hate it. I'll never forget years ago, Oklahoma was playing great. And ESPN and all these talking heads were saying, that's the greatest college team I've ever seen. They promptly lost a game in their at the end. Then they lost in their conference championship. You just can't jump the gun. But there's a lot of talk. Is Dylan Cruz going to go down as one of the best position players in LSU baseball history? Man, Todd Walker, Eddie Furness. I mean, we can go on and on. Breggs. There are so many great players, but let's not jump the gun. But on and off of the baseball diamond, he is tough to beat. He is nothing but the salt of the earth and super classy young man. And look, he's going to be mega rich. Nowadays in baseball, man, I know your son plays football, but nowadays in baseball, it's uncanny to see these guys get 10 years and $350 million.
Yeah, Dylan Cruz went 5 for 6 against Sam Houston, had 3 doubles. That tied a program record. Dylan Cruz exploding early in the season, which is good because he hasn't always had hot starts right at the beginning of the year. And if he's already going, he had an outstanding fall with the USA baseball team and Trey Morgan playing first. And look, they did the experiment. Tommy Tanks was coming over. They didn't know where he was going to play, and there was kind of this rumor about, well, you know, Trey Morgan's a good enough athlete to move to the outfield. I never understood it, but, man, how do you take the best defensive first baseman in the league and then move him to the outfield? I get that you want to put people in positions where they can contribute and help the team. Watching him run into the wall was about as scary as experiments that you could have in that point of the year for LSU. You do not want to get that guy hurt, especially when you're trying to feel out a lineup. Too valuable, saving too many runs, too many errors at first base. We'll see what Tommy Tanks can do when he gets healthy. It's a bummer. He dislocates his shoulder in the first game, trying to dive back the first on a pickoff move. But that guy was phenomenal as a freshman. So when he gets healthy, holds down that hot corner, I think LSU's going to figure a lot of other things out in the lineup.
Ben McDonald explained it perfectly at the Round Rock. He said, look, when you're in college, you need a first baseman that is as athletic and flexible. Man, my goodness, the stretches and all the things that he does at first base. I don't know how many runs he saved for LSU, but you need that as a collegian because the throws are not as good. Ben explained it that Trey Morgan is the kind of athlete, 6'1", 215, that may get a look-see in the outfield at the next level. He says, you know what? In the major leagues, most of the time they make good throws, and so you don't need Barishnikov at first base. And so they think his future at the next level might be as the outfielder. But I can't tell you the number of text messages that I got after Morgan that I heard. And, you know, everybody overreacts. Just chill out. They're trying some things. They're working on their best lineups. And as we know, contingency, you've got to have a plan B and a plan C and a plan D. So, look, I asked Coach Johnson this question. He didn't really know the answer. Do you have all your ducks in a row and all your roles established by the start of SEC play? That generally is the benchmark on where you want to have everything established with each guy and their roles. It still could be a work in progress because there's so much talent.
Yeah, LSU sits at 6-1. They take their 6-1 record to Austin, take on the Longhorns tonight. We tape here on Tuesday the 28th. Horns down, Bud, man. LSU, Texas kind of brought up this little rivalry that's been going back and forth the last couple of years. LSU's gotten the best of them, and we'll see about tonight.
Everybody tells me that the Texas fan base with athletics is just as arrogant as the Alabama fan base in football, but they don't have any skins on the wall. Right. Now, I think it's still one of the greatest championship games ever when Vince led Texas to a late championship over USC. That was a hell of a game, the 2005 season. But if you would talk to them, look, they've made Omaha 3 of the last 4 years. David Pierce, of course, came over from Tulane, had 2 good years at Tulane. But wait till you get a taste of the Longhorn Austin arrogance once they come into the SEC. Also, don't want to get through the show without giving a shout-out to Jay Clark. He's had a lot of injuries with the Lady Tigers with gymnastics. To show you how crazy it's been, they beat Florida 198-1 to 197-95 or whatever, and KJ Johnson celebrating hits the ankle and foot on the side of the mat, so she's out for a while. But they went to Bama and beat the Lady Crimson Tiders by a scant margin. So he's had to fight through. Kaya Johnson's out for the year. Once again, you got to have plan B and C because you never know when the injury bug. But kudos to Jay Clark and the lady gymnasts. They have made a great turnaround, and right now, number 6 in the country, and hoping to be like the Jeffersons, moving on up.
We'll talk some NFL football now here as we wrap up Tigers Roar. The NFL Combine is going on this week. Lucas Oil Stadium, Indianapolis, Indiana. 9 LSU Tigers will be taking place. You see the graphic right there, Bud, man. I do have a list for you right here. Out of the 9 LSU Tigers that will be taking place in the Combine, what player has the opportunity to up his draft stock the most?
You know, B.J. Ojulari is a guy that got bestowed with the number 18. We know that what that means. I thought he was going to have double-digit sacks this year. He had a lot of hurries. It didn't finish a lot of plays. I think he's got a chance to get late in the first round. But when you look at it, Micah Baskerville is a guy that was a good LSU player, but he's not going to be a top pick. Kayshon Boutte, they showed him traveling to the Combine, and he had 7 actual pieces of luggage. He's got baggage, folks, and we'll see if he can get his I guess you could say, reputation fixed up a little bit. But if he runs 4.37, 4.35, 4.38 at LSU on Pro Day,
does 19 reps.
There'll be some guys that want him. Anthony Bradford, the big guy from the O-line, we'll see what happens. Mekhi Garner, I think he's a cornerback and will get probably picked in the second round. Ali Gay, looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. Don't know what he will do. Jerry Jenkins, solid. And then Jaquelin Roy and Jay Ward. So we'll see. I think BJ probably the highest ranked, but once again, 9. And Jarrett Bernard Converse did not get the invite. Somebody better pick him up. He's solid.
Yeah, the stud. To me, if you're asking me who has the opportunity to up their draft stock the most, Ali Gay, who some would say kind of underperformed in his last season as an LSU Tiger, has all the physical traits you could ever want to be an edge rusher. The size, the length, the speed. He's very strong. That kid has the opportunity to be like, look at the physical traits that I had. I might not have put it all together on game tape, but I have the ability to do this. Ali Gay could surprise a lot of people with the numbers he can put up in this combine.
Man, he looks so impressive getting off the bus, but he's got to be more consistent. Jaquelin Roy is a big man, and I think people will miss him. You know, he didn't have that many stats, but look, when you require 2 people to block you, that's a role that the common fan don't normally see. And, of course, as we know, next year, LSU expectations, I'm kind of spitting this out right now, but I think LSU and Florida State 7-8, 7-9. I definitely think both teams have a chance to be in the top 10 as they open up where they finished last year, Camping World Stadium in Orlando.
Now, Bud, man, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I've heard a rumor about Sevyn Banks in the NFL. What's going on with Sevyn Banks?
He declared for the NFL. Generally, LSU releases everybody that declared. Sevyn Banks is a young man that came over from Ohio State, got hurt, came back on the kickoff against Auburn. A chilling moment as he had the very serious injury. He rehabbed, and I think it's just a case of him realizing there's only so many hits and days that he's going to stay healthy. I think he's trying, but probably going to be an undrafted free agent unless somebody takes a chance on him late.
We have just a couple minutes left here in Tigers Roar. We don't ever talk basketball, really, especially NBA basketball here on Tigers Roar, but I got to bring up the Pelicans, Bud, man. One time, just a couple months ago, everyone was so hopeful for the Pelicans, going to make a long playoff run. They were sitting at one time first in the West. My, how times have changed.
What are they now?
They're trying to hang on to that play-in spot right around the 8 or 9. But here's the thing in the West. Everybody's separated, except for that one seed. Everybody's separated by 3 or 4 games. They could absolutely make a run here at the end. People are now projecting the Lakers to jump 6 spots and get to that play-in spot. So don't know what will happen with Coach Willie Green's team. Still waiting on Zion to get back healthy. They thought he'd be back. He re-aggravated injury. Now he's going to be out a few more weeks, and it's been tough sledding for Coach Willie Green's team. A lot of people saying the players look checked out. You hate to hear that because, look, everybody was in love with Willie Green last year.
Well, Brandon Ingram and Zion are the 2 alphas on this team. It is so frustrating to see Zion Williamson, who has been hurt most of his Pelicans career. Man, when he's healthy and when he's thin, he is fun to watch. But, yeah, let's hope that they can get healthy and bring it in and make the playoffs.
We certainly appreciate you watching this episode of Tigers Roar. If you missed anything on this episode or any episodes in the past, go check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. It is a great way to keep up with everything we do here at the Pelican. And for our Florida director, Marty, for AT and KT in the truck, he's the Bud Man, Buddy Songy, and I'm Jonathan Poche. We thank you for watching this episode of Tigers Roar.